What's up, soldiers? Your boy Chris vibes it up in the kitchen, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure to have y'all here. Did I just say y'all? Gosh, that's my southern accent. I've got some pork, I've got some string beans. So in today's recipe, we're doing a curry pork with string beans. Watch now, you're gonna like this one. Trust me. I've got here about 1 pound of pork, which has been cubed up into about 3/4 inch pieces. Bit of fat in there, that is ideal because that's going to add some more flavor. Cheap cut of meat, pork, so like a butt or a shoulder or something, anything cheap. First thing, we're going to go in with some salt, and it may look like a lot of salt I'm going in with here, but remember, we're adding beans to this, so I will not be adding any more salt along the cooking process. Then we're going to go in. At this point, all we're doing is season and marinate the pork for about at least an hour. Green seasoning, Caribbean green seasoning, and that is just a blend of herbs that we usually keep in the kitchen. If you check the website CaribbeanPot.com, you will have the recipe for that Caribbean green seasoning. A little bit of ketchup, and that is because I like the sort of acid element that brings to the table. Some fresh ground black pepper. And I've got here a scotch bonnet pepper. I'm gonna go in with all of it because I want this rather spicy. I like my curry to be to have some heat to it. Remember, wash your hands after with soap and water. If you're worried about the raw heat, do not include any of the seeds or that white membrane there. That is where most of that heat is going to be. I have here some prepared grated ginger. If you have fresh ginger, you can go in with fresh ginger. It's totally up to you. I think I just lost the lid for that. And the last thing, some chopped tomato, 1 tomato. I'm just going to give that a mix and allow that to marinate in the fridge. I am using a non-stick sort of saucepan here because when cooking curry, you tend to use a lot of oil. The pork that I'm using is very fatty, so by using this non-stick pan, I'm going to be able to cut back on the amount of oil that I start off with. So I'm going to go in with about a tablespoon or so of vegetable oil. It is on a medium heat. I'm going to turn that heat down because I just want it to warm through the pan. I'm going to turn that down, and I'm going to go in with 1 shallot that I sliced up thinly, as well as 4 cloves of garlic that I just smashed with the back of my knife kind of thing. Low heat, and let that go for about 2 or 3 minutes just to sort of build that flavor that we're looking for in the bottom of the pan. After a couple minutes, everything should be nice and fragrant. We don't want to burn the garlic nor the onion. We just want to flavor that oil before we go in now. And I'm using a Madras blend curry powder out of the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean sort of curry powders. Use your favorite curry powder. And you go in with about a heaping tablespoon or so. Closer to 2 tablespoons of curry powder. Your heat is still on low. And what we're doing here is toasting this curry powder just to bring out all the flavors of all the spices which make up the curry powder. The second thing it's doing is cooking out the sort of raw curry taste out of the curry powder. The curry powder will go darker, it will go grainy. That is exactly what we're looking for. Turn your heat up now to medium high, and it's time to start adding that marinated pork that we had in the fridge. Take it out for about 5-10 minutes before we start cooking, just to bring it up to temperature. You really want to stir this around to coat all the pieces of the pork with all that curry goodness at the bottom. Gonna do a couple things. Ooh. Yeah, I didn't say I like it spicy, didn't I? We're gonna do a few things. We're gonna turn the heat down to medium-low. We're gonna put the lid on there, and in the same bowl that we marinated the pork in, you want to put about 2 cups of water in there. Move it around. We're going to pick up any leftover marinade. We'll need that shortly. It's been going now with the lid on for about 10 minutes. Yes, it did sprout its own natural juices, and that is fine. What we want to do here now is intensify that curry in the pork and to really have that flavor going. So what we're going to do is turn the heat up and burn off all that liquid. The goal is to have the same oil that we started with at the bottom of the pot. You'll notice we've got that bit of oil that we started off with there. That is exactly what I was looking for. So all the liquid is gone. The curry taste has been infused into that pork there. It's goodness, pure goodness. Heat still on high. We're going in with that 2 cups of water. Bring that up to a boil. Put the lid on there, then we're going to turn it down and let it simmer. Let it go, well, not simmer, but a rolling boil for about 25 to 30 minutes. It is now time to add your trim beans to the festivities. And I'm using French beans. You can use Bodhi, you can use, which is pretty much yard beans if you're shopping in an Asian store. String beans, all that stuff is good. My heat is still on medium. I'm just going to turn it up on high because I want to bring that to a boil. And I don't want to overcook these beans because I like a little bit of texture in my beans. I'm just going to give that a stir. Move that around in that sauce there. Put the lid back on and let that go for about 7 to 10 minutes again. But this is where you're going to personalize it, right? Cook it to the desired texture that you like, obviously. So there you go, friends. Curry pork with beans. You cannot go wrong. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure to have you guys here in the kitchen. Remember, you can personalize this. Cook it a little bit more if you want to get those beans a bit more tender. I like a little bit more crunch. And also, taste it for salt and adjust accordingly. Always a pleasure to have you guys here in the kitchen. What can I say? Bless up, man.